Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. My coffee's cold. Now when I first started here this morning, well, it's not cold, it's room temperature. But when I first came to the model table here this morning, like I've been up for over 4 hours. I got up just after 5. And it looks like I haven't done anything. Well, at the model table I basically haven't. But I've been busy. I've already been to Superstore this morning when they first opened up, did a little bit of grocery shopping. When I was coming back with the groceries and I was parking my car out on the lawn, Max was going to Timmy's, and so I said, "What time do you think Missy's going to be coming by this morning?" And he figured Missy would be going out maybe around 9:30. That's in 15 minutes, so we gotta try and be ready. I don't know, Missy's schedule now that the warm weather is here is a little bit different, and she seems to be walking further. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, yesterday she didn't come by at all, and I gave up. And actually, what happened was, I waited and I waited and I waited. I think it was around 10 o'clock. And so I gave Max a call, and when he answered his phone, I thought the background sounded kind of strange. Well, it turns out I think he and Lorraine were out for a walk, or him for sure, and he was away off, anyway, several blocks from here. So I sort of thought, oh, okay, it's not going to work out this morning, too bad. So I went out on my bike, and those of you who saw the ride, you will see Missy coming along and getting a treat. Yeah. Anyway, enough about a dog. I think it was probably around 6 this morning. I was sitting here at the model table, and I was just sort of wondering, now what am I going to do today? I know I always say today we spray and then we don't, so I'm not going to say that today. However, I was thinking that I would like to see if there isn't some way I can take these very small little pieces of railing and put them on rotating blocks, because I'm pretty sure I can do a much better job of painting them if I can get them to turn as I spray. At least that's the plan. So I was sort of thinking, well, how can I, I was thinking of double-sided tape and sort of try and stand them up on their edge. And then I thought, if I was to modify a self-locking tweezer, like I've got these self-locking tweezers, but they're not very precise. Here's one that I sort of did. You can't see it if you're too far back. But if I could modify it so that I can grab onto just on the very edge or corner of something like that, and then if I could have something to set it on so that it would be right in the center of the rotating block, then as the whole thing turns around, I can video it. I like to do that, and I think you like to see it being done too, because you get to see stuff with this macro lens that you don't otherwise see. Unless you were to use a magnification hood or something like that, and even then, I don't think I see stuff as clearly with this as I do with this. Yeah. But then, hey, this is like what? I bought these at Cellar Dweller a long time ago. Cellar Dweller, which is now gone. They were a hobby store here in Winnipeg. And I can't remember how much they were. They were. I remember they were quite expensive, but I don't know how much in dollars it was. But I do remember they're expensive. But this thing here is like 100 times more expensive. So it better be better, right? Okay, let's get going here. I do have more stuff to do in the kitchen yet. I got a big package of hamburgers sitting on the counter, and I gotta roll it up and make little patties out of it and put it in the freezer, and then every other day I'll pull one out. And anyway, any other news? 23.3 already. That's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. I did get out yesterday, yeah, as you saw. Good ride. Weather is predicting possible thunderstorms, though, and you know what? Now that I'm looking out over top of the house across the street, and it does look kind of dark and ominous. So I don't know. I might be best off going for my ride early. I better check the weather radar. I very seldom base my prediction of the weather on what they say it's going to be, or even what they say it is. I check the radar, and hey, if there's a bunch of ugly looking stuff moving in and it's only this far from Winnipeg, I I know we're going to be getting rain. I don't care what the weatherman says. Anyway, let's get going here. You know, I should really get back in the kitchen and do something with my hamburger or ground beef. I don't know what you call it where you are. We used to call it hamburger when I was a kid. Yeah, and then they upped it to ground beef. I suppose if there's pork in it, it would be hamburger. Okay, I'll be back. I'm coming, Missy. I'm coming, Missy. Hi, Lorraine.
Hello.
Is Max okay?
Yes, he's visiting with King Charles this morning.
No.
Yeah.
How did he really?
No. he's glued to the internet this morning for the opening of Parliament.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. King Charles is opening Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for coming by.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess Missy the dog is going to be a little bit different for another morning. Okay, well, probably in wintertime we'll be back to normal. And I hope winter doesn't come, but it always does. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Well, at least we got that part of the Missy segment. I guess normal. Yeah, King Charles is opening the Canadian Parliament today. I'd forgotten about that. And Max is big into politics, and he wants to watch that, so Lorraine came by with Missy. Now, what I was doing here while I was waiting, I was trying to set something up so that what I can do is have these small pieces just barely grabbed onto, just this one's just by the corner. I've adjusted each one of these self-locking tweezers so that they are they can grab something really small and it's not going to ping out. Now the problem is when I'm spraying, so let me stop this thing here. Always with the rotation. Always with the rotation. Okay. Now when I'm spraying, I'm just wondering, is the airbrush going to push on this? Maybe I should have it so that it's supported here and it's supported back here. That way it's not going to slide. I have done something like this before using these tweezers, and I have found that that the pressure will push the tweezer. Okay, we'll come up with something here. Okay, I've already removed this off of right here. And my thought is we'll just use double-sided tape. Now I know it won't last forever, but as I've said before, nothing lasts forever. And what we will do is we will take our part, and I put crosshairs on here so I can line up where the center is, and that's pretty close. Then when I lay it down, it sort of sticks on the tape there, and I can't imagine anything accidentally blowing that off. Okay, now I'm just going to mount all the pieces of photo etch, and I should be able to quickly go from one to the other here. Oh, I'm noticing that these are at a different angle. I thought these were all identical, but they're not. That's okay. 1:53. The clock don't lie. I'm just not getting anywhere here today. Stuff came up. One of the things that came up is I got the urge to get out on my bike. I went to Tim Hortons, had a coffee. You can watch it in the ride later if I post it, and I'm sure I will. I'm going to have to call it quits here. Okay. I feel like saying tomorrow we spray, but it just isn't working out. I think we will. I think we will. What happened this morning is I was horsing around trying to rig up little holders for tiny pieces, and I spent so much time getting ready, and that's what's happened. And then there was other stuff, you know. Life got in the way of the model table. I've heard that before. Yeah, I'm going to call her quits here for today, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, if you're still with me, you haven't given up, we'll see you tomorrow.